fam, I had wanted to come to you with a video because I get a lot of questions, not per se on YouTube. However, from when I go in to do observation at daycares, even when I go into schools that have centers, daycare centers in, I get observation from teachers that's getting ready to retire or that's tired of really teaching but enjoys being around children, or either friends or bystanders that hear my conversation on this subject. They have questions, and I've also made several videos. I said about 3 or 4 videos on this YouTube channel years back about being a PD specialist, which had got quite a few views on there, quite a few. Over, I think the highest one was, I don't quote me, I think it was like 47,000 views, I believe. Could be wrong, but it was up in the thousands. However, I wanted to come to talk to you about side jobs, or it can be a main job. I'm going to give you the pros and I'm going to give you the cons. So please, please stay tuned if you want to hear about being a CDA PD specialist. That one. We're going to come back to who is eligible to become a CDA PD specialist. We'll come back to that one. The next one is the CDA PD specialist compensated? Yes, you are. You receive $100 per candidate. $100 per candidate. Okay? Also, being a PD specialist, we cannot charge the candidate any other fees. We can't charge them any other fees. Like, okay, you stay a little too far than what I travel, so I'm gonna charge you. If I'll come to do yours for $25 for gas. We can't charge none of that. We can accept the candidate, or we can decline the candidate. Okay? So if you know that they stay too far from you, too far from where you want to travel, then you can decline. You're not available. You're too far from me, or I'm gonna have to say no from the distance. However, but yeah, they give us $100 per candidate, and we cannot charge any other fees with that. Let's see. And this is only if the candidate is okay. The PD specialist, when it comes to the council professional recognition, the people that I'm under, the platform that I'm under, will receive the $100. The council pay us the $100. The candidates pay the council, and the council pay us. This is the only service that me or us, whomever as a PD specialist, is authorized to perform on the council behalf. That's the only service. We go there, we do our observation, we get that 100. The council will direct deposit our money into our account. Lately, it had been 2 weeks before we get the money, but it is, sometimes it'll come before 2 weeks, but lately they actually give them about 2 weeks before you get the money. All right, so the next questions: when are the CDA PD specialists expected to observe candidates? Once a PD specialist receives the ready to schedule, once you say, okay, I'll be your PD specialist, they'll go through the council. The council will email you and say, hey, we have this candidate. They're requesting. You're in their area, blah, blah, blah. They're requesting to see if you will be their PD specialist. So on that, you'll have the candidate's email, and you will have their phone number on there. So usually what I do, I would email them back if I see the area code and it doesn't look familiar to me. I'll email them back and say, hey, where are you located at? Because some will have a Orlando area code, but they're living in Polk County, or some will have, or how you keep your same phone number and you travel from city to city. Okay, so that's one of my biggest questions I've asked, because I've got caught into saying yes and then found out that they were like 2 hours or 3 hours away. So what I do, I ask, where are you located? And then when they answer me back, then I was like, sure, or if not, I'm sorry, I can't help you right now. That's too far for the distance for me to travel. And what they'll do, they'll go back on their portal. The candidate will go back on their portal and choose a different PD specialist. I hope this makes sense. Then if I say yes, then after the candidate pay the council, then the council send me an email saying that, okay, the candidate is ready to schedule. We'll receive an email notification on that. Then I can proceed with the scheduling with the CDA verification visit. I can go in and proceed with that. They'll be inside my portal. Their name will be in there. I'll click on their name. I'll schedule a time and date, and I'll send a request. If they deny it, if they deny it, then they can put in a time and we just can't get it together, what time or date, then we can still email each other, or you have their phone number where you can call them as well to discuss a best time and date for both of you. All right. The observation takes place on a regular program day during a mutual agreed upon time period, when the PD specialist will have the greatest opportunity to observe the candidate as a primary caregiver working with a group of young children or home visitor conducting a family visit. Now, I am qualified as a PD specialist to work as a center and a family, because I wanted that income, whether they have a daycare in the family, a family visit, that means a daycare in the home or a daycare in the center. So I wanted to get income on both ways. It's not a lot of PD specialists that do a family one, but I do, and I like it. I don't get many family visits, but I do, because it's, I can get money that way. All right, so the next one is, what is the CDA PD Specialist Portal? What is that? All right, the PDS portal is now your council. In your council, approved PD specialists can update their contact information, review training, check to see if a candidate is ready to schedule, and submit candidate scores to the council. Your council can be accessed by clicking blue your council button on the upper footer at the bottom of the page, or by typing yourcouncil.org in your web browser. Approved PD specialists can also request to join the PD specialist community page to access additional resources, tutorials, podcasts, and more. Okay, so I like it. I really do like it. It may not seem like I like it, but I do like it. It's in the field, the career that I like, dealing with children. But however, when I go there, I don't really have to deal with the children. We'll talk about that. Let me see. What is another good question? Let's see. This one may be... If you want to, let me put it this way. If you want to go into more details, to see more details, go into where it says, you can type in cdacouncil.org, cdacouncil.org, and then look for how to become a PD specialist, who qualifies for a PD specialist, all of that good stuff, and you'll be able to get more information. And if you can speak Spanish, English, that is, oh goodness, that is a plus, because we get a lot Spanish people. I have Spanish speakers, I'm sorry. I have to turn down if they don't speak English fluently. I have to turn them down because I'm an English speaker, and I wish that I could speak Spanish as well. So if you can speak Spanish and English fluently, that is great. You'll be called a whole lot. A whole lot. So that'll be a plus for you. Let's see. Okay, how do I apply to become a PD specialist? I'm going to read what it says. It says the requirements to become a PD specialist can be found here. We encourage any qualified person to consider being a CDA PD specialist. In addition, PD specialists must have access to the internet and an active email account. If you are eligible, you may fill out and submit an online CDA PD specialist application. The council will review all applications. You will receive an email from the council with instructions on how to proceed. All eligible ECE professionals will have 30 days to complete the PD specialist training modules and pass the final exam. Once all the modules are completed and the exam is successfully passed, the PD specialist must sign a contract and submit a W-9. At this time, they will be issued a PD specialist ID number and are officially a CDA professional development specialist. Now, when it said exam, do not get scared, because the exam is not hard at all. It is not hard at all. So I advise you to go ahead and try it. I'm telling you, just go ahead and try it, and they'll get back with you, like they said, within they will have 30 days to complete the PD specialist training module. You have 30 days from when you started, and after your final exam, they will go over your exam, the council, and they will get back with you. And it did not take long for them to get back with me. And I've been a PD specialist for 15 years, for about 15 years. Yeah. It says, is there training required to become a PD specialist? ECE professionals whose application is approved will receive an email from the council to proceed with required online training modules. At the end of the training, a short online exam verifies mastery of the material. The applicant must complete the council's online PD specialist training and pass the exam to officially serve in the role of a CDA professional development specialist. How long will it take? The training is self-paced. However, on average, PD specialist candidates spend approximately 1 hour per training module and 2 hours for the final exam. There are 4 training modules and 1 final exam. And I took notes and everything. You don't have anybody watching you or anything, so you could take notes for that final exam, so you can use on your final exam. How will I be notified about the status of my application? Right now, they're saying due to the high volume of PD specialist applications, it may take the council up to 45 business days to finalize reviews. I don't think it took me that long way back then. back then. All right. What happens once my application is approved? You will receive an email with next steps of how to log into the learning management system to begin your PD specialist training. What happens if my application is denied? You will receive an email from the external specialist engagement team letting you know your application has been denied. You will have an opportunity at that time to appeal the decision if you desire. Can I be compensated for other services? The Council for Professional Recognition does not compensate for additional services performed by PD specialists. In your role as a PD specialist, you are expected to conduct the CDA verification visit in alignment with the training provided by the Council. Will I be expected to travel long distance? Our goal is to have even coverage across the United States and for PD specialists to only serve in their local area. Occasionally, there are special circumstances where long-distance travel is necessary. However, these types of assignments will be handled on a case-by-case basis. I'm sorry about Lambo barking. It must be approved by the council prior to the CDA verification visit being conducted. So, like I said, you can deny them. You're too far. You can deny the candidate. How do I know if it is okay to be a CDA candidate PD specialist? And it's just telling you, please review the CDA PD specialist conflict of interest policy in the section below. So they have a section that you can, the conflicts right here. Yeah, when you're going to complete the observation. Like, say, for instance, you can't do an observation on a relative. If the candidate is an employer of yours and you're a PD specialist, you can't do it on there. But yeah, so they have that right there. But like I say, go ahead and log into cdacouncil.org. They really need more PD specialists. They do. Okay, so that's some of the questions and answers right there. As well as I want to tell you, okay, how long is a visit? I get that answer. How long is a visit? You have an hour to review their portfolio that they have to bring to you. You sit and you'll do that quietly by yourself in a quiet area without the candidate. You just go in there, ask them for their portfolio, and they give it to you. You review it. You got an hour to review that. Then 2 hours. Then the next 2 hours, you'll sit in a corner somewhere away from the children and the teacher and just sit back and watch them, observe them. And you have a scoring tool sheet that comes out of their competency book that they should already have with their portfolio. When you're reviewing it, you'll take those scoring tools with you and a pen, and you'll mark off, is it 1, 2, or 3 on the paper. And if you need to write any notes, they have boxes for notes for you to remember, when you're putting in their scores online later on. So you'll sit 2 hours to observe them. If they go outside, you'll go outside with them. You'll follow that teacher. If she have to go in another area to do something else with the students, you just walk with them quietly. It's like you've been invisible. And then the last hour, because you're there for 4 hours, then the last hour, then you'll go back, and I usually go back in there. I tell them, okay, the observation is done. I need to just go back in that quiet area and review what I get my notes together and everything. That's when I usually go in to, get my notes and stuff together, and then I'll take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get my notes and stuff, what I want to speak to the candidate about. Then I'll ask for the candidate to come in. Candidate come in and we sit there and we talk about the strengths, the weakness, what their next goal is, how they're what are they gonna what do I'm sorry, I'm looking at some on my phone. Um how they're gonna accomplish, what are the steps that they're gonna accomplish the next goal, their next goal, what steps do they need to take, and then you're out of there. Then you'll come home, and I believe you have 48 hours to get their scores in. Usually I don't wait 48 hours. I usually do it later on before I close my eyes at night, and I go ahead on and get their scores on in to them. And I already had my scores, circled down on their paper, and I just come and I put the scores in. And if I had some notes, and I have to score them a 1 or 2, I have quickly had and jotted down my notes so I can remember on that scoring sheet in the class when I was observing them, and I just typed the note in, and it's quick. Now, how many observation can you do a day? Years ago, if I'm not mistaken, when I first started, we only could do 2 a week. We could not do more than 2 a week. They have changed that, and thank God they have, because I didn't agree with that. But they have changed that. You can do 2 observation a day, so you can make this like a full-time job. Each observation is for 4 hours, okay? You could do 2 a day, get you a lunch, an hour lunch break in, and then go to the next one. And it's $100, and know that I'm in the state of Florida, but it's $100 per, but I'm talking from the state of Florida, but it's $100 everywhere, if I'm not mistaken. But check. It's $100 per candidate, and if you do 2 a day, so that's 10, because it's Monday through Friday, and some centers are open on Saturdays. You might can get that in. But let's see, Monday through Friday, and you do 2 a day, so that's 10 candidates. So 10 candidates, and you get $100 per candidate. That's $1,000 a week. If you can get those candidates drawn in. A lot of times I get my candidates by word of mouth around town. Another thing that I would do, I would go to centers. When I see a new daycare center, I made up some cards, ordered me some cards saying I'm a PD specialist, and I got my number on there, my email. I have my PD specialist number on there as well, my phone number. And I go in, I have a picture of myself on there, and I leave some cards at the front desk. So if anybody there ever want to get their credentials, then they have me to call. I also tell them that I have a YouTube channel with some videos on there that can help the candidate, whether they choose me or not, or what we're looking for when we go in there. So, because a lot of times they're nervous. And usually when I go in to do an observation, I don't dress up business-like. But I don't dress like I'm thrown away. But I go in as a casual business-like, because when you walk into a place and somebody dressed up real business-like, it tends to bring on more nerves. But I want to go in, I do casual business, because I want them to feel relaxed. I want them to do their best. So I go in as casual business. So attire. So, yes, that's what I chose to do. When I first started, I went in business, and I was like, ugh. And I saw the girl nerves was racked. And I did it a couple more times, and I kept seeing the pattern, and I was like, no. So then I started changing my wardrobe to casual business, relaxed casual business. And I saw the candidates being more relaxed, not so nervous in there, So yeah, I liked it that. I really liked it that. I was able to see their true self. So if you have any more questions, please leave the questions in the description box in the comment sections below. And if I can answer it, I will answer it. If I can't, then I'll tell you to go to this website, cdacouncil.org. And I hope that one of you all could be a colleague. Yes, 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 you will like it. Like I say, you get paid $100 per candidate. So I hope that this can help bring some money into your pockets and you make your own hours. That's what I love, your own days. You can take off when you want to. You know, it really, I can say that you make the money that you want to make. But if you really want to make some good money, you got to put it out there to go and sell yourself to these daycares by leaving your cards and, you know, just going to introduce yourself and talking to them, leaving your cards. Also, there's a Facebook where for daycares, and they go in there and they talk to each other, they ask questions and all this stuff. What you doing? You see, and they introduce yourself on the Facebook account. YouTube, make a YouTube video of it. You know that you're a PD specialist. You know you got to sell yourself. And I have a platform. But my love is teaching where I'm teaching at. So that's why I have not went full time into it. But sometimes it gets slow. It gets slow sometimes. But therefore, you got to know when, okay, you got to know your slow periods and you got to know when to build it up. But yes, just if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. I hope this will help someone else if they have in mind they want to be a CDA PD specialist or what we're about. So this just can be a full-time job, part-time job, or a little side hustle, you know? All right, then. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you, and you have a great day.